Lamin Oo uses his power to tell the story of his fellow Burmese. He studied at Gettysburg College in the United States. The transformation that he watched unfold through Facebook inspired him to return. Home and make an award-winning documentary about the plight of Burmese farmers. And he says, "My country has been closed so long, there are a lot of stories to be told." So you young people have the chance to tell those stories. You have the power to improve institutions that are very important for democratic governance, like civil society. And an impartial judicial, and a free press, and private enterprise. And there's so much to build here. In countries like this, it's critical that you get involved in that way. I'll give you an example. Ryan Lewis Madrid dreamt of being a journalist. But as he stood surrounded by the wreckage of a typhoon in his beloved Philippines, he made himself into an instrument for his fellow citizens' rebuilding. Today the organization he co-founded puts solar rooftops in developing and recovering communities. And he wants to use his skills to encourage other enterprising young people in developing. Countries to stay in their countries and help their own people, to think globally and act locally. You have the power to remind us all that human dignity is not just a universal aspiration, but a human right. So Wei Wei spent 7 years of her youth behind bars as a political prisoner. And she called it her university about life. Today she uses that hard-earned degree to advocate for tolerance and acceptance. saying, "We too sacrificed many things for the same cause, that is democracy." You have the chance to overcome hatred and make sure that freedom rather than repression. Hope rather than fear is governing your country. You have the power to set your own countries on a new and different path. And in all of this, America wants to be your partner. We want to help any way that we can to help you shape your future. We want you to have the tools and the connections and the resources that you need to change the world. So one way that we can do this, I'm announcing a significant expansion of the Young Southeast Asian Leaders Initiative Fellowship. An exchange program that will bring 500 Southeast Asian leaders to the United States every year. And these fellows will have the chance to strengthen their professional leadership skills, network with one another. Share experiences and ideas, and then come back home better prepared to lead your region and change the world. So some of these fellows will benefit from 5-week instruction at some of the best universities in America on issues like entrepreneurship and environmental stewardship and civil society and human rights. Others will have the chance to work in professional fellowships. At state and local governments and NGOs across the United States. And, by the way, through this program that I hope some of you will be able to take advantage of. When you spend time in the United States, our people learn from you. So it's not just you learning from us. And when these fellows then return home with these new ideas and new experiences, Our embassies and USAID missions will reach out and offer the support and resources to help make your dreams a reality. So today I'm proud to announce that America will convene a young Southeast Asian Leaders Initiative Summit in this region every year. Giving fellows the chance to share their successes with each other and strengthen their network to accomplish even more. So I hope some of you will take advantage of this. I expect many of you will take up the mantle of reform from student activists like Aung San Suu Kyi and Min Keo Naing. Take your rightful place as leaders in a stable and prosperous and progressive Southeast Asia. And as you do, I promise you will have no better friend and partner than the United States of America. So thank you very much. Kajitin Bieda. I now want to take your questions. And I hope you don't mind, because it's a little warm in Myanmar. I'm going to take off my jacket. Okay, so there should be I've got a microphone, and there should be mics in the audience. And I'll take as many questions as I can before I have to go to Australia. Alright, who wants to go first? This young man right here. Question, I'm inaudible. I'm a third-year student, majoring in English at Sitwe University. Rakhine State, or as you would say, Rakhine State. President Obama, I'm still working on my pronunciation. Question, I've experienced some sectarian and racial balance firsthand in my region. So the question I would like to ask you to answer is, How can I be part of educating my generation to promote tolerance and respect cultural differences, and most of all, eradicate extremism among different ethnic groups? President Obama, that's a great question. Thank you so much. I had a chance to meet with some civil society groups. And I had a press conference earlier today. Yesterday, I had a chance to meet with parliamentarians, including the speaker, the two speakers. As well as Aung San Suu Kyi, and then spoke with the president. And to all of them, I said this: there is no example of a country that is successful if its people are divided based on religion or ethnicity. If you look at the Middle East right now and the chaos that's taking place in a place like Syria, so much of that is based on religious differences. Even though they're all Muslim, Shia and Sunni are fighting each other. If you look in Northern Ireland, then Catholics and Protestants fought for decades and only now have arrived at peace. So in this globalized world where people of different faiths and cultures and races are going to meet, each other inevitably, because nobody just lives in a village anymore. People are constantly getting information from different places and new ideas and meeting people who are different from them. It is critical for any country to abide by the basic principle that all people are equal. All people are deserving of respect, all people are equal under the law, all people can participate in the life of their country. All people should be able to express their views without fear of being repressed. And those attitudes start with each of us individually. It's important that government play a role in making sure that it applies laws fairly. Not arbitrarily, not on the basis of preferring one group over another. But what's also true is that each of us have to cultivate an attitude of tolerance and mutual respect. And for young people, we have to try to encourage each other to be tolerant and respectful. So in the United States, obviously one of the biggest problems. Historically has been the issue of racial discrimination. And part of our efforts to overcome racial discrimination involve passing laws like the Civil Rights Law and the Voting Rights Law, and that required marches and protests and Dr. King. But part of the effort was also people changing the hearts and minds. And realizing that just because somebody doesn't look like me doesn't mean that they're not worthy of respect. And when you're growing up and you saw a friend of yours call somebody by a derogatory name, a rude name because they were different, it's your job to say to that person, actually, that's not the right way to think. If you are Christian and you have a friend who says I hate Muslims, then it's up to you to say to that friend, you know what, I don't believe in that. I think that's the wrong attitude. I think we have to be respectful of the Muslim population. If you're Buddhist and you say you hear somebody in your group say I want to treat a Hindu differently, it's your job to speak out. So the most important thing I think is for you to in whatever circle of influence you have. Speak out on behalf of tolerance and diversity and respect. If you are quiet, then the people who are intolerant. They'll own the stage and they'll set the terms of the debate. And one of the things that leadership requires is saying things even when it's uncomfortable. Even when it's unpopular, especially when it's unpopular. So I hope that as you get more influence, you'll continue to speak out on behalf of these values. All right, who's next? Okay, I'm going to go now. The one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go boy, girl. Boy, girl, to make sure that it's fair, because one thing I didn't say in my initial speech. Is societies that are most successful also treat their women and girls with respect. Otherwise, they won't be successful. The young lady in the yellow, right there, who had her hand up. Okay, hold on so we can get a microphone. Question, I am inaudible. I am Kachin and Burmese. I would like to ask about the ASEAN affair. So my question is, there are different political system and different level of democratic freedom in ASEAN. Do you think those differences will cause challenges to ASEAN integration? And do you believe it is the right time to push for ASEAN integration? Thank you. President Obama, of the 10 countries in ASEAN, I just had a chance to meet with all their leaders at the U. S ASEAN Summit. and the good news is that ASEAN has become more ambitious over the last several years in trying to promote integration. To work together on issues like disaster relief or public health or maritime security or improved education. And I think it's inevitable that integration is going to happen more and more,